Today we're learning how to convert fractions to percents. So when we look at a fraction, like 33 over 100, percent means out of 100. So this fraction right here is already out of 100. So when I convert this fraction to a percent, it becomes 33%. Any fraction with a denominator of 100, you just take the numerator and that's the percent. But what happens when we have a number like this? A fraction of 3/10. Well, that denominator is not equal to 100. So we need to ask ourselves a question. Can I make that denominator equal to 100? In this case, I can. Times 10, and now I have 100 because 10 times 10 is 100. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So 3 times 10 is 30. So now I have 30 over 100, and because a percent means out of 100, my percentage is 30%. So far our steps are: 1, if my denominator is already 100, I can just take the numerator and turn it into a percent. Step 2, if my denominator is not 100, can I turn it into 100 by multiplying or dividing? If I can, then I find out what number I need to multiply or divide by. In this case, it was 10 times 10 equals 100, and then I have it. That's step 2. If I can't do either in a situation like this one, if I have a number like 3/8, there is no number I can multiply 8 by to get the denominator equal to 100. Can't do it. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a division problem, which it technically already is. 3 divided by 8. Now I know that 8 cannot go into 3, but I put my decimal point here and I add a 0. Bring my decimal point straight up. 8 goes into 30 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract. I have to borrow here because I cannot take away 4 from 0. So that becomes a 2. Make this a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 2 minus 2 is 0. I bring down another 0. 8 goes into 60 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract. I have to borrow again. This becomes a 5. This is my 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. And I have a 0. Still not done. Make another 0. Bring it down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. So now when I subtract, I get 0. Finally have an answer. So my answer is decimal point 375, or 375 thousandths. Here's the tricky part. When I have a decimal and I need to turn it into a percent, you have to move the decimal point over 2 places. So my answer is 37 5/10%. That's step 3. So let's review our steps again. If I'm asked for a percent with a fraction, if it's out of 100, I just turn it into a percent. If I know that I'm working with a number that can be multiplied and I can get the product as 100, like 10 times 10 is 100, or maybe 5 times 20 is 100, I can try that. If neither one of those work, I move to my last step, which is division. I put the numerator inside the box, I put the denominator outside the box, and I do my division. When I get my answer, I move the decimal point over 2 places, because I move it over 2 places when I turn a decimal into a percent. These are the kind of problems you're going to have on your homework tonight. Good luck, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.